Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Heard your feedback. I know you wanted more of the style of how I do Apex Legends content, and I guess in this example as well as Marvel Rivals. Today we're going to discuss positioning. Positioning and just more positioning. We're going to make mistakes. This is all going to be done in a single take. And I hear your feedback in terms of, I guess I'll give an example where back in the day, I used to strictly snipe and only produce montages. And I guess I was trying to relive my glory days of how I used to play Battlefield. But I understand how content has evolved and I get it. So we're going to kind of modernize what we do, and we're going to start with breakthrough. All we're starting with breakthrough is that if you can see positioning and breakthrough, then it's much easier to digest this on Conquest. Leave a like if you want Conquest, or if you want a guide on how to maximize your sniper. I haven't played in a week, and I'm going to showcase it, even though I haven't played, how easy it is to get back in the flow based on positioning. This is a pretty big map. We're attacking, all done in single take, and it'll be pretty straightforward here on what we're going to do. So you got a lot of space, so realistically, even if you're sniper playing aggressive, your goal is to literally get on that point. I can't stress that enough, how to angle. So here's an example. If we're looking on the map on the bottom part or the top part, depending where people stack, there's always going to be this imaginary front line of where people stack, and it's easier to see on, well, breakthrough. So if they all stack, let's say for example on A right here, then you want to pretty much flank on the left side. What we're going to do right now is you're going to keep your body small on what is ideal positioning, right? That's pretty much your goal. So now let's take a look at the front line. Believe it or not, even though it seems like you may be standing out in the open, you can find where you're keeping your body small, right? Where you can use these crevices. Everyone back in the day called them head glitches. You know, you can use geometry like this. Keep your body small instead of like, let's say if I was standing out in the open right here. Well, this is not going to be as ideal. But if you're standing behind cover, then you're going to be able to find space and move forward. Your goal is to get on that point. You want to be able to get to the point as much as humanly possible. Now, the big thing with positioning is that you don't repeat, you wait. When you're in this downtime right here, this is your perfect moment to reload. Right? Once you reload, you're kind of good. And then you peek the other side. Try not to repeat the same spot twice and keep moving. Keep building that momentum, right? Now, you cross whenever you've got eliminations, you're going to make these mistakes, but you see where I'm positioned, that I'm in a spot where my medics can get me. But I'm still pushing. You see where the front line is. If you look in the bottom left right here, you can see where everyone is near me. If you know where the medics are, it means that you're kind of in that general area which you should be. See, boom. Now we're getting some eliminations. And now we see another opponent right here, right? Keeping our hitbox small, able to snipe, and then we're going to be able to push forward right after. The front line is here. Now, if the front line gets too congested, then you could flank around and go for a flank possibly on this side. You see where the number 4 is going this way? But we're on the front line, essentially, right here. And this is where you can start getting your kills. Easy picks right here. Keeping your hitbox small. Even if your aim isn't great, if you take forever, see how long I'm taking? And I miss, right? I'm just trying to be, like, dramatic with it. Then you reset and then you reload. This is a perfect time to reset and just kind of vibe out. Wait for your HP to go back up. Even if you take forever, keeping the hitbox small against most, average players is going to net you pretty much an advantage. And keep in mind, yeah, I haven't played this in a hot minute, but it's easier once you got the fundamentals down on this front line. Now, the hard part about holding the front line here in terms of positioning is that you want to be able to break through. That's kind of literally the point of the game mode when it's called breakthrough, right? And you could get stuck here because people will keep respawning over and over and over again. You see how this guy's pretty much out in the open? Yeah, that's kind of crazy. There you go, boom. Quick shots, right? And then if you want to move up and play aggressive, okay, this is where you start to play a little risky, right? So right now I've got 6 kills, I'm top of the leaderboard, so we're doing this commentary live. If I were to run up, this is where you get to play more aggressive and create that front line, right? Now we're on the front line. Even more so, and we're pushing forward. There's a few things that you start to run into. People, you're going to get outnumbered, but if you're Assault, this is easier. If you are Recon, this is going to be much more difficult. We're rusty right now. And you start to pretty much break through, right? The guy's trying to get him up. Let's back out. I whiffed. Then reposition it and go back in. Rinse and repeat. We're right there. And this is the only way, essentially, you're going to make it through. I mean, they could push you and do the same thing, but we're pretty much at the front line. Everybody, so the snipers in the back, these people aren't really helping that much in terms of the overall objective, right? That's not going to help. I mean, if they get kills and stuff, sure. But essentially what you want to do is be able to just break through. We're gonna get eliminated here, but we're gonna push through, right? We're gonna go into this spot right here, positioning. This guy's just chilling here, right? Free kill. Boom, positioning, right? Now we're in the front line. We wait to heal up. Wait for those micro. It's like, I could call it micro positioning. How am I getting shot through this? We wait, heal up, and then we're gonna just push through. Let's go on the point. Let's just go. Guy's just chilling right there. I don't know how I missed that. This is where old style aggressive recon, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little bit out of touch with this, but you could see where the thought process is, and we're almost on the point. Using micro positioning. Technically, we're on the point. We're capturing it. This is great, right? Playing aggressive recon. Even if you're a little rusty, even if this is the first game of the day, essentially, that I played, and at least you're pushing the objective and trying to make a play, right? If we look at the leaderboard, we're 8-1. We have more kills than most people. We're using a sniper rifle. We were on the point and playing the objective. Now, the downside of once you're on this point, once you're that pushed up, most people can't get you. Your front line is here. I guess you could call this, I guess the best example I can give is like, think of it like playing American football. For people who play the UK, they're gonna say football, they're gonna think soccer, right? So, where you have multiple touchdowns and what you're trying to get to. The biggest touchdown, I would say even here, this is not a touchdown. These are people just in the back and they can snipe and they can, support the squad. But your first touchdown is here, one, where you see the tank is. The second one is here, and the third one's on the point. They get tighter because there are positions in which you can move towards, right? And that's your overall goal as you're pushing forward. Now you can do the best you can and kind of push forward and your aim can be off, but then you'll get those moments where you do have an advantage. And if you get the jump on the opponent, the only thing I say is, oh, I just need to land my shot better there. Or the positioning was pretty sharp, at least I knew where to go. So the takeaways here, what do you feel like you're learning? The biggest thing that you're learning is that you're finding positioning that even if it's an open space, there are angles in which you keep your hitbox small like this. You could take, let's do the example of like a flank and take positioning, since we just did the front line one. See, boom, people that are super crouched like that, it's not a bad thing because they're keeping their hitbox small, but you want to have some momentum, you know what I mean? You want to be able to move around. Like, none of these people are moving. These are, like, in my opinion, like borderline bots. As I'm gaining momentum, and kind of surprising because nobody's looking at height. It's kind of crazy. It's a good way to jump on opponents. My God, what am I looking at here? Is this real life? Bro, like, I should be dead. What? How? What? Bro, oh God. Dude. This is why the flank is amazing. Oh my God, what is this? And taking unorthodox spots because nobody looks up. I don't understand it. It's crazy, dude. Now I'm getting a little shaky. Oops. Okay. Well, there you go. That's a good example of flank. If I didn't whiff, and there's also a point where you get greedy. Like, I've already been shot. I could have just ducked down and kind of reset, right? But I mean, I went on a tear. I was pretty much on the point. If I was pretty much more locked in, like that's a good example. So we got two examples here where we pushed on the point, and then another one where we just kind of pushed forward. Now, you could say it's a bit greedy to just kind of push the way we did, but at the same time, like, it's also not, because nobody's looking, and then everyone is just kind of crouched down. You need to be able to, when you're positioning, I'm going to point out the people on the far left aren't really holding space. So that's another thing when you're positioning. If I'm looking on this, how much space am I holding? I can see all the way over here. I can see all the way over there, but I can't see in front of me. So therefore, I'm going to keep pushing forward so I can still see more space. If you are holding a position and you are not seeing space, this applies to Apex Legends as well, then you're not holding a quote unquote God spot. You are not maintaining pressure on your opponent. Like, this could be quantified as like pressure, but you also want to be able to move forward at the same time, right? That's kind of the idea. You want to get involved. Even as a sniper player, you saw me like going on a tear, moving up, getting involved. Get involved with your team and fight, right? And these maps have way more positioning than people think, especially when they're moving, like, there's no positioning. There definitely is positioning. There's a lot of cover that exists as you're moving from like another point. Like, let's use this as an example. Talking about football. Boom, front line. Let's pretend this is a front line. We take a shot, nobody's there. Move up to the next front line. Nothing here. Take a shot, miss, move up to the next front line. Reload. If I take a damage, but I didn't in this example, then I look. And if I'm able to get good spots, boom. They moved. Let's take up to the next front line. There's a person on my left. Let's look. Got two. He's running? Excuse me, sir? Where are you running to? Whiff. And let's move up to the next front line. I should have looked at the guy in front of me. And that's kind of where I'm standing out in the open. But was that a good front line? No, I didn't make it there. I got distracted by somebody else. And those are mistakes you're going to make. So this is a great example. And what happens on Conquest, if we do like a part 2 of this, when you play on Conquest, realistically, it becomes like a circle where people are kind of chasing each other over the objectives. This is a very simplified version. I'm kind of glad we got this map. This is great. And in close quarters, you saw how tight it can be on that objective with close quarters. The biggest mistake I see, again, is 1, 2, 3, probably, these aren't that bad, they're closer, but if you got that many people sitting on the far angle, I need to pull out my knife, I'm just being a Being a noob, running around, not holding out my knife is another good tip. But I mean, hey, we got a 5-man, we wanted a tear, moving forward, and we do the same thing trying to get the objective. And that's the hard part when it comes to breakthrough, is that sometimes, I mean, there's certain points that are going to be harder to overtake than others, partly because people spawn in a little close, or there's only one objective. Like this map, what is this? Is there bullet drop in this game? What's going on? Oh, hit him. I don't know how nobody else hit him. But we only got 72 tickets. Let's try to, essentially, I could, in theory, end the video here. So what we'll do is we'll try to play a little more aggressive and talk about more of the micro positioning. At this point, I would ask you guys to leave a comment on what you guys think I'm missing in terms of positioning. I feel like let's go down to basics again, just as a reminder. Micro cover, working your way up from one spot to the next. And that's pretty much it. And going for flanks. If you realize you're getting hit, do not peek the same spot twice. If you do get some kills, secure space, move up. So if I got kills and I feel more comfortable, I move up to that positioning. If your teammates do not move up, then you move back. Because that's another question people always have. They're like, well, what if my teammates just refuse to move? Well, then you're kind of stuck. I mean, like, let's say if I don't have teammates and you have to back up and then rinse and repeat again. Try to give your teammates confidence. Because ideally, oh my gosh, thank you. What's going to happen, I'm going to go back to this other spot, with let's say bad teammates that just won't move up. I could even put myself on the boat if like I'm not confident and I'm trying to find an angle, trying to get into the point, but I just can't. Because if you look at the mini-map, I'm pretty much the only one that's like pushed forward. Like, I have this other guy with me. I'm the one who's most pushed forward besides like this guy on the point. Then you don't really have much of a choice but to try it again and just keep pushing. Ideally, what will happen is that the teammates in the far back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, will get bored because they notice that you're taking the front line and they'll start to push forward, right? How many kills have we got? 19 and then 4. That's not bad. You know, that's not awful considering we're just doing this all in real time. And then you have to reset and then come right back in. Now, things you can do as a recon, you can put your recon beacon down. You can use utility. You can use your grenades to push people out. That's another fantastic point when it comes to positioning. But every map essentially becomes repeatable like this, okay? It's always the same flow that you're always going to the same spot. I can always flank the same other spot over here. Like, there's a bunch of people over here, but they're not moving, right? Did you notice how when we're moving, like, you're building a lot of momentum? And sometimes, yeah, I gotta stall. My mistake was that whenever I got so involved, I needed to stall a little bit. I'm gonna die on this cross while they whiff. That's crazy. It's just to wait until the front line builds confidence to move forward. I'm hoping that when more people see this guide, they can see, if I can do it as a sniper, ladies and gentlemen, you can do it as an assault. I promise you, okay? Even if I'm a little rusty, right? I don't know how I whiffed there, okay. Well, you have your good moments and your bad moments. Like, I'm pinned right now. So positioning walls, if you're pinned, what do? Take another angle and reposition. Also, that bouncing that happens in Battlefield 6 drives me crazy from positioning. So that, oh, hello. There we go, now we're in a different spot. And now that tank that put pressure, you're just essentially alleviating the pressure. Okay, let's move forward. I don't think we're gonna make it. I'm gonna have to really, really push at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can do it, you can do it. That's the premise of today. If you can see somebody running with a sniper playing the objective, then you need to play the objective as well. That's the biggest takeaway here. It's just, I mean, we just, at this point, 18 tickets, we gotta just jump on the point. Let's get on the point. No! I didn't see through the smoke. I guess I could, like... You see, there's the big comment. This is actually important. You snipers in your team are doing lots for your team. It's a great point. Exactly, dude. If they look and they see nothing besides, like, people just sniping from a distance and they refuse to get on the point, it's one of the biggest problems. They finally moved up. If they had done this, you see the front line here? If they had done this much sooner, I guarantee we probably would have gotten that point. I know we did a lot of commentary. There's only 6 tickets left. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you found this helpful. Put an assault rifle in your hands. If I can do it a sniper 100%, you can do it as well. Super easy. Don't just sit there and camp like that. It doesn't help. Move forward on the objective. Find space. And unfortunately, as the game does progress, you want to do this early on in the game. Because if you don't, well, there's more stuff that gets destroyed and it gets harder and harder and harder. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is a great example when your teammates don't push. Even if I'm doing a commentary, kind of vibing out with you guys, you saw great moments, saw some bad moments. And essentially, kind of think of it this way. You only have so many different lives to try to push. And at some point, you know, it works, whether it works or it doesn't, at least you gave your best effort and you play the objective and you move forward. That's your goal. Move forward, move forward. Yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed the style. This is fun. I had a good time on this. I'd love to do this more on like Conquest next. So if this gets a lot of views, let's do this on Conquest, ladies and gentlemen. See you guys on the next one.